What is up, Cahir Club? Welcome back to another CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody's had a great start to their week. It is Monday, boo, but we're shiny hunting Kleavor again today. Hello, Brugger, and hello, James. Do you need to explain? I mean, I feel like all the explanation's been done. You adopted as a Titan. Congratulations on your newfound parenthood. But yeah, today we are back with Kleavor shiny hunting. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, I did a Kleavor shiny hunt, and now, I didn't get a shiny during it. I didn't get a single shiny. Like, we're not talking like I got, like, a Scyther or a Minior. No, I got nothing. I got jack shit. And that wasn't that good. So, today, today we're continuing on with the hunt, because 2 weeks ago we got the triple segment shiny Dunsparce, and that's pretty fucking awesome if I do say so myself. So now I want to get the Kleavor, maybe catch another couple of shinies before we hop into the next big hunt, which is of course going to be Krogunk in every type of ball. Her name is Snowflake and you love her dearly? Hell yeah. Have I considered using polish on them to make them shiny? That's a good point, Kepler. Welcome to the stream. I hope your week has gotten off to a good start. I will write that down. And, hello, Rob. How goes it? I hope your week has gotten off to a good start as well. Go grab your Rettle. Hopefully, that's the goal. That's the goal. Hopefully, capturing a Scyther in Pokemon Legends Arceus, where we can only use first stage Pokemon, will provide help. Oh, I've not got the timer up. That's not great. That's fine. I can get the timer up. Let me just get the timer up. Where is it? Where is the stopwatch app? There we go. There we go. That's already. That's already. Alright. I think we can picnic here. We can't picnic here. I was wrong! Wow, there are a lot of guys here. Why are your eyes so square? Is that rude? Is it rude to ask a guy why his eyes are square? That Magneton had been watching way too much television. Alright. I think I saved first. I'm going to make sure I saved first. I don't want to find out I didn't save first, because that would be pretty not great, if you ask me, you know? The idea that there hasn't been a save. I think it would be funny if we had the Kleavor, like, over there. That would be pretty amusing, but we don't. That's not what happened, so that's not amusing, actually. Where's the... Like, I'm trying to remember how I did this last time. So I know it was around here. But, where specifically? Anyway, creative mode, we're going to need cucumber and pickle and 3 bacon. Oh, we only have 7 bacon left. That's not great. And then we need... who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Okay. We don't need the cucumber or that amount of bacon. We can just take that, salty and sour, a VV pick, and that should give us all we need. I think I'm overthinking things. I was going to be like, oh, I better avoid using any specific herbers. Bacon tower. Bacon, bacon, bacon. Well, I'd like to say yes, but unfortunately a drinking buddy I haven't seen from a while where you grew up passed away. Sad stuff to not dwell on right now. Understandable, dude. My condolences. That is very sad to hear. But yeah, let's what words am I looking for here? I like created like the vague idea of like what I was gonna say, and then I just didn't collect the words. I apologize. How are things on your end? Yeah, my days have been pretty solid. Okay, we should be looking at... Uh-oh. The un-uh-oh? Okay, no, there are a lot of Kleavor, not Kleavor, Minior behind me. Do you think I can get the picnic table up here? Okay, we're looking at like a lot of Minior and not a lot of Kleavor, which isn't great. Yeah, Rettel is Rob's Kleavor name. Aha, here we go. I think this is the spot. Yeah, yeah, I got a couple more of the, tier lists recorded, which is a very fun series, would recommend. Okay. Can't help but notice that no Kleavor spawned with them Scythers. Okay, no, a Kleavor did spawn with the Scythers. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. That Tyro down there, I think, makes 12. I'm gonna try and move over here a bit so those Tyro can't... Oh my god. Everything is so temperamental. If I, like, am 2 pixels in the wrong place, I cannot picnic. Which is obviously rather annoying. I wish I remembered the exact spots I need to sit in for this. Because I know there is meant to be, like, an exact spot. Okay, now those Minior are spawning, which isn't great. But we still have, like, a lot of Kleavor around there. But it's catchy as Reina. But definitely more keen on the metallic variant. Which is funny because Rettel, metal, but he's the rock type. Where does Rettel come from, may I ask? Yeah, to be clear, I'm not going to try crack open the Minior. But I started thinking about the Minior too hard. There are a lot of Minior spawning at the moment. I feel like that's not meant to be happening. The lads, indeed. Alright. Obviously, good timing to be getting Kleavor. Because next Legends Arceus stream, we will be doing the Kleavor fight. We'll be fighting Kleavor. Would recommend checking out that stream. Will be very fun. It has been a long time since I've done any kind of versus combat in Legends Arceus. So it will be interesting, at the least, to hop back into it. Alright, I'm going to take a drink quickly. There we go. I think that's the most of what we're going to get spawned, to be honest. Might as well just re-picnic. Alright. But yeah, Kleavor is pretty cool. I think they should, I was trying to come up with a name for Kleavor, and thought it would definitely start with R's, and started sounding out words to come up with it. You know what, that's based, I like that. You knew where you wanted to start, and then you just, like, belt out the rest. I feel that. Alright. I bet that... I was gonna say I bet that's how people... Yeah, no, I bet that's how people used to name their babies, you know? I'm standing by that. The meaning slaps on later. Like, are words derived from, like, the words? Are names derived from the words, like, all names have, like, a meaning, you know? Okay, no, if I'm over there, then that's gonna happen. But if I'm over here, then Minior are gonna spawn. If I'm over here, then I can actually do a picnic, but I'm, like, behind the rock. To me, it sounds more like Rettel. in your head, but you can see where the metal connection comes from. Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, I just kind of saw it spelled vaguely like Rettel and went that direction. Okay, I don't think we're spawning any less Minior over here than we were, like, about 2 feet over. And there's more visibility over here anyway, so we're going to stay over here. In fact, we might be spawning more Minior because there are a lot less, guys. No, come on. Please. There we go. I don't remember having this much trouble with the placement last time. I remember it being rather just like, okay, I'll set myself up here. And then I was like that for the stream. This time seems a lot more inconsistent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. A fike, names come from words / meanings, and then as language evolved, so did they. E.g., someone named Bread, and then language moved on, but Bread stayed the same name. Then Bread became Brad or something. The idea that, like, if you're called Brad, you're just named after bread is funny. So they evolved far enough to become their own thing. I see, I think I get that. It's like the names were... Well, yeah. Trying to think if, like... I guess, like, Summer and Autumn and India are all, like, named after... What was it called? What brain movement? E.g., Cahir came the ancient fancy word Cahirishir, which means a place to be seated. You see, not quite. Not quite. I wish I knew more about the etymology of the name Cahir, other than it means warrior, to dispute this, but that is not knowledge I possess. Alright. My brain's like split in half. I'm looking at the Kleavor and then I'm trying to come up with a sentence and it's not working. There are a lot of Kleavor here, whoa. From Google. Thanks, Google. Originating in Ireland, Cahir is a name traditionally given to boys and derived from the name Cahir. It means battle man or warrior, and has newfound fame due to the popular series The Witcher, in which the villain is named Cahir. Indeed. Cahir, you're the bad guy in The Witcher? I'm gonna be honest, I didn't realise I was the bad guy in The Witcher for a while, you know? Like, I saw the first season of The Witcher, came up with CahirLIVE, then I started watching the second season of The Witcher, where Cahir played a prominent role, and people kept being like, Cahir! And I was like, that's me. That's it, I'm getting the cards out. The cards! We talking like tarot or like poker? Because like if we're talking gambling, I'm on board. We're talking tarot cards. Less on board. I played The Witcher 3 far enough for the card minigame, then stopped. Ah, I see. I've not played The Witcher 3. I watched the Netflix series and was very disappointed at its slow fall off. Also, don't worry, I tried your tarot, but I keep getting the tower over and over. You see, I don't know what that one means, so I'm gonna pretend it means something good, that I'm awesome and really cool. Or maybe it means I'm gonna be locked up in a tower like Rapunzel, and I'm gonna have to grow my hair really long to get out. I'll give you a hint. Oh, I love hints. Big hint fan. In the Binding of Isaac, the tower fills the room with bombs. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna travel back in time and become Robert J. Oppenheimer! That's the only reasonable assumption about what that means. And that's why I'm the villain, exactly! Because I'm gonna be played by Cillian Murphy. That's fucked up. Did that win any Oscars, Oppenheimer? I know Boy and the Heron won Best Animated Film, which fucking deserved. I know a lot of people were like banking on, well, not banking, were really hyping up Spider-Verse, but like, IMO, Boy and the Heron was better. Across the Spider-Verse was a great half of a movie, but it did, you know, end on a cliffhanger. There's more movie left. Your interpretation, like, Carrot sounds like the Game Theory Insanity ending, by the way. The Game Theory Insanity ending? The what? Did MatPat's Game Theory have multiple endings? Like, I know he released his last one. It did? What? I saw the thumbnail. I saw the video of him... what's it called? Ascending to Scott Cawthorne's house. But I didn't know there were multiple endings. That's wild. Lawkeeper Chaos. Mimi, Insanity, Horror, and True. Lawkeeper is Scott Cawthorne. And there were... another... There are another 5? Huh. Interesting. I mean, I was talking to friends the other day. They were saying I shouldn't say this on stream, so maybe I shouldn't. I'll send you a link to the compilation on Discord. You mean it isn't all part of the video anyway? Interesting. I'm very surprised by this news. In the last few theories, there were ARG elements. They link to endings 2 to 6. Huh. I guess that makes sense. Like, that's interesting, actually. The unlisted video is accessible through the final theory's description, too. Oh, so people found them before the final theory. Interesting. Mr. Me, hello, how goes it? I hope your week has gotten off to a good start. I'm shiny hunting for Kleavor today. But if you saw that you got it early. Ah, fair. That's interesting. Yeah, no, I was entirely unaware of there being multiple endings to game theory. MatPat's error on game theory. Like... yeah, no, I didn't end up watching it in the end. Yeah, I've not watched Game Theory in a while, so... It was like a while since you've been to stream. Was it? Has it? If it has, then time has gone a lot quicker than expected. But I hope you've been well all the same. I will trust you on that and hope that you've... and So I hope you've been well since you last stopped by. But yeah, no, things have been pretty solid in this corner. I've not got any shinies yet, devastatingly. Not since the triple segment, I don't believe. Also shiny Minior, yeah? Been good? Hell yeah, glad to hear it. Right. Kepler when he's trying to make me upset. Still hunting a Poipole just past 1500 resets. Jeez, that is a large number. But best of luck. Hopefully you get it soon. All right. I've been seeing a lot of people hyping up Sun and Moon lately, which is very, very fun. In fact, I saw someone hyping up, what's it called? Not hyping up. Being a Usum Lusamine defender, which I'm a big fan of. Love seeing people defend Usum Lusamine, because I, too, am an Usum Lusamine defender. Controversial take. I don't think that Usum's writing is necessarily a downgrade from Sun and Moon's. So I'm happy to see other people carry the same take, because especially when it released, the general consensus was Usum was just Sun and Moon with more content, but story-wise it was worse. When I think maybe it's not better story-wise, but in fact maybe it is, because it has more with How. It does more interesting stuff with How. There's the Ultra Recon Squad who are cool. There's the Rainbow Rocket post-game. It's sad that the Looker and Annabelle post-game isn't there, because that is a good post-game. But Rainbow Rocket is a banging post-game. And then it's got a load of bonus scenes as well. I think Usum are genuinely some of the best games. I'm genuinely really contemplating doing a doing Legends Arceus, Scarlet Violet, then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, just to play through all games, all story, to finally decide once and for all which my favorite Pokemon game is before I inevitably decide that Usum is still my favorite game because I fucking love Usum. Hoping you can get all these DS exclusive shinies for next month. You're getting nervous. I closed that down a bit too quick. What's it called? Pokemon Bank isn't shutting down with the rest of the service. Pokemon Bank's staying open for longer. They've said it's going to shut down and have encouraged people to transfer Pokemon up, but it's not shutting down with the rest of Nintendo online services. Nintendo 3DS online services. It's shutting down independently. It's still a shame that it's going to shut down at all, though. It's very much the glaring issue with what was it called? With having cloud storage for Pokemon. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? Well, I mean, I'm more meant the main series games than Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Although I'd say a pretty hot take of mine is I do think that some of the best Pokemon stories are up there with Mystery Dungeons. Obviously, I'd say the very peak of Mystery Dungeon is probably still higher than main series, but yeah. You have to get this Poipole and then start a new game and get a Shiny Charm and then hunt another Poipole. Ash Pikachu with the last type null. Ah, fair. Wait, the last type null? As in, are you going for a Silvally of every type? And something I hope they do for Scarlet, Violet, Sword and Shield. When the servers go down, update the game to generate event raids on a certain day of each year. So they still happen and there are still events for everyone. What was it called? Or what was I looking for? I know Sword and Shield did have, like, one final event. That was more or less all of the, all of the raid stuff. All of the Gmax Pokemon, event. Or, like, event. Focused. Side. Yeah. Do you have any Master Balls? I do have a couple. No, you already have one shiny type Null. You need a last type Null to get Silvally. Ah, fair. You saying, like, the last one made me think you might be going for, like, one of each Silvally. I recommend using Master Balls on Pokemon with abysmal catch rates. Thank you, tutorial NPC. Oh shit, I've been spotted. Like, I think the only Pokemon you should use it on the Raid Magic. Kepler's onto something here. It might break out. What if it breaks out? Then you can't catch it again. And, like, we all know how hard Magikarp are to get. So, like... I don't know. I only think you should bother with the Master Ball when, like, it's a Pokemon that might just explode on you. Like Minior. Minior, Voltorb. Stuff like that. And even then, you can just take along a Pokemon with Damp. And then, bada bing, bada boom. Kleavor has a catch rate of 15. I mean, like, I have a Kingambit with Thunder Wave and stuff. This ain't my first rodeo, Kevin. I'm gonna be blunt. I appreciate the, sentiment. But, like... Yeah, Master Balls is a good failsafe, as Kepler says. Like, just because a Pokemon's got a lower catch rate, I'd say doesn't mean I need to waste Master Balls on it. What ball are you getting it in? I'm not sure yet, honestly. I'm not really much of a picky ball user. What balls do I have? I'm glad that they've got the ball pocket back. They have got net balls. That would be good. Oh, I have 3 friend balls. Maybe I'll use a friend ball. Do I have any heavy balls? No, looks like no. I think no, wait. Maybe a Safari. A Safari could be fun, but... I mean, in a Shiny Hunt, I used a Dusk Ball in the daylight, and it was fine. Dusk is another good shout. I think I'll use my friend balls, and then use a couple of friend balls, and then if that doesn't work, I'll use a Dusk Ball. So I do like friend balls. Friend balls are fun. Try to remember if I'm just thinking of raid Pokemon I got in friend balls, or if I've got a Krogunk in a friend ball yet. Because I know I've got Sports Ball and Beast Ball Krogunks. Yeah, like, Krogunks I've caught, which are the ones that I'm counting... What's it called? The only Krogunk I'm counting towards the one of every ball thing, a Krogunk I catch myself. So on that list is, what's it called? I believe Ultra Ball, and then Beast Ball and Sports Ball. Because obviously the only way to get Krogunk in a Sports Ball is in Scarlet and Violet. I think I'm going to do BDSP hunting for a few of the other ones, though. Rather than just do Scarlet Violet hunting for Krogunk. The only flaw with the Master Ball is one of a kind, so don't use it unless you really need to. Again, thank you, tutorial, NPC. They're also easy to get thanks to spamming the item lottery. That also. They're also easy to get when you, when Rob keeps trading you Pokemon. I think, I'm gonna be honest, Rob, I think most of mine are from you. I didn't even need to, boot up the lottery. I'm not sure if I've gotten a Master Ball from it yet. But, how was it called? Yeah, no, I rather not catch shinies in Master Balls. I probably will catch a shiny in a Master Ball, soon, in that being Krogunk. But that's because I want a Krogunk in every ball it can be caught in. I'm realizing that, technically I can't fulfill what I'm saying. I can't get a Krogunk in every type of Pokeball. Because I can't get a Cherish Ball Krogunk, and nor can I get a Krogunk in that Crystalline Ball in Legends Arceus. You made that Crystalline Ball out of the, that special ore, and it's basically a Proto-Cherish Ball. And that's what you catch, Origin Dialga or Palkia in the end. Remember, Cahir, if you need to keep Pokemon in place, you can dig a 2x2x2 hole and push them in. Kepler, I think you're thinking of horses from Minecraft. The other thing I could do is get a lead, which you can get by killing wandering traders. That's the only way you can get leads, is by killing wandering traders. Have I tried it? Yes, it is a good method to keep your horse in place. Personally, I'm a big fan of the fence post and lead. You will be the superior tutorial guy, dang it. Maybe threw them right on item dupe glitch, but it's fine. Master Ball is not even needed anyway. The only reason you had to use one is because you bumped into a shiny Minior and was afraid of explosion. Yeah, that's more or less the only reason I'd find myself using one, I think, is exploding Minior. Exploding anything, really. But, I've yet to encounter a hunt like that when it's not on my own terms. Alright. Once again, we are through the... almost through the first sandwich with no shiny, which is a shame. Guys, it's Kleavor shiny locks. I haven't got it in about 3.5 hours. So I'm starting to think that it might be shiny locks, actually, clearly. Did you know you can prevent an explosion by battling a Pokemon while it's starving? There won't be enough ATP in its body to explode. Interesting. I'll have to write that down. Specifically so I can look up what it's referencing later on. Did you know? If you're fighting a Pokemon with explosion, you can use flint and steel on them to make them explode on the spot. ATP is adenosine triphosphate, the energy storage molecule in the cell. Is it Apple Tactic Points? I prefer that one. I'm sorry, Kepler. You've been overruled. It's just how it is. Alright. I really want to know how they fucked up the stopwatch. I'm going to be honest. I really want to know. Like, what's it linked to? Because it's got to be linked to something that is running faster on my computer than the computer it was built on. Like, is my computer just like, since it's a better computer than the one the stopwatch was built on, it ticks quicker, which means the time goes up quicker? Did you know you can use control sticks to move around? What? Dude, why didn't anybody tell me this sooner? I've been using water buckets to get around. Wait, what's going on? No way did they make the timer tick by CPU cycles. Yeah, it's been half an hour. It has been half an hour. Uh-oh. Okay, it's over. It's been half an hour, as is told by the fact the sandwich just went off. And the timer says 20 minutes. And that's because the timer is quicker, about a second is 2/3 as long on this timer. So yeah, you said CPU cycles. I feel like that's likely, you know? I don't know enough about computers, but I'm assuming you do, so I'm just going to take your word for it. It's always been quicker. And I find that really funny. Alright. I believe this. Yes. Did you know, when trying to handle system time, developers started a counter that goes up once every millisecond as a temporary solution. It's still in place today. Huh. It will overflow in 2038, bricking many electronics. Yo! 2K2? Why 2K2? Why 2K2? 2036. Y2K38, yeah, but it's only the second installment in the franchise, so it makes more sense if it was Y2K2, right? The thing that fucks me up about Y2K is people are just like, oh, it was a hoax. People are always like, oh yeah, no, it was a hoax, it wasn't real. Yes, it was! Y2K was very real. Computer scientists across the world had to work overtime to make sure all electronics didn't fucking brick themselves when it hit the year 2000. But because they did a good job, because they did a good job at it, they fixed it, they solved the issue, so no one noticed it. You know? Like, Y2K would have happened had it not been stopped. Did you know, wait, no. Y2K wasn't a hoax. Some stuff did break, but people actually prepared for it and fixed it. Exactly. 2K38 is going to be way a bigger pain, because tons of devices can't be updated, like your washing machine. Oh, no. I mean, speak for yourself. These days, anything can be updated, anything can be connected to the internet, and anything can stall you out because it needs to update. You want to wash your clothes? Nuh-uh, we need to update. You want to cook your roast turkey on Thanksgiving? Nuh-uh, we need to update. You want to open your fridge? Nuh-uh, it needs to update. You want to use your car? Nuh-uh, it needs to update. But oh wait, the update failed, which means you can't use your car until you entirely reset it. Yes, I did see that. That is the thing that I believe has happened. Is someone's car had a botched update, and they just weren't able to use it because of that. Which is fucked up. Wait, why does my washing machine need to know the exact time? Like, the exact time and date. It's a basic part of OSs now. So when they did the firmware, it was in place. Huh. Irritating. It measures how long it's been washing. It needs to know time. I mean, yeah, but I guess it needs to know how long a minute is. Lest your minute is off by about a third. In which case, your timer would be about a third of the way behind. Wait, no, that means that mine is slower. Mine isn't quicker, mine is slower. That's what that means. I said it was quicker, but it's got to be a third slower, because it's slower. I was wrong. The timer was a temporary solution. It wasn't meant for a time and date. It literally measures time since those goobers started it. It seems like a very programmer solution. I'll say that much. Not in a bad way. Computer science is cool. But, if I know anything about programmers, that is a very programmer solution to that answer. Especially the "we'll fix it later" part. I'm gonna take a drink after that. Alright. Let's reset the Kleavor once again. Alright. The Kleavor. Alright. Trying to assemble a thought. Nope, okay. It was like there, it was like shimmering in my mind, and then I lost it. Which, hi there? Cool. You know how it is getting attacked. So, like, Pokemon probably aren't going to attack us in Legends Zeta A, is my take. Like, I'm sure we're gonna... My assumption about Zeta A is we won't be seeing Lumiose grow from the start to finish of the redevelopment project. But we will see the finish of it. We'll take it to the end, but I don't think we'll be there from the beginning. But, what was it called? So yeah, I don't see Pokemon attacking you in it. I guess the logical thing to suggest is maybe we're going to see more like a... I don't know, I guess if it is, like, it depends on if it is set in the 1920s. Like late 1800s, 1920s. Like, I think that's, like, going to be the big thing on, like, how much we can actually theorize about what the fuck's going to go on in that game. It's, like, figuring out when it's actually set. And we don't really have enough to, like, concretely say one way or the other at this point. Like, as much as, like, Pokemon theorists on YouTube Shorts really want you to believe their side of the argument, like, I'd say, like, there's nothing that can be said for certain at the moment, you know? As much as I feel decently confident it's going to be set in the past, I'm also aware that there's probably internal bias in that confidence, in that I want it to be set in the past. I think a Pokemon game set in, like, late 1800s, 1920s France sounds fucking sick. You know, I think that's, like, that sounds cool to me. So I'm assuming, so, like, that's, I have personal investment in it being set in the past. And I know a lot of people want it to be set in the future, so I'm sure they have their own, like, personal biases in that way around as well. But I think it'd be cool if, like, there was, like, investigation work and stuff that we got to do throughout it, you know? Like, imagine if instead of, like, working... Like, okay, my prediction is still that, my prediction is still that the player's going to come in to assist... what's it called? Player's going to come in to assist the ecological research of the Lumios redevelopment project. Past or future, it doesn't matter. They're brought in to investigate the biodiversity that is now emerging within Lumio City. I've kind of said before, I assume it's going to be specifically, the... what was it called? Group doing the redevelopment project, but it'd be cool if it were, like, an old version of the Looker Bureau. Because that's going to make an appearance. Mark my words, the Looker Bureau, that building, in fact, that exact room is going to be at least present in the game, if not an important area that you will revisit on multiple occasions for one reason or other. 1850s Sherlock Holmes stuff, 10 out of 10. That would be interesting, but I'm now starting to wonder if that might fit better in, like, a Gala Legends game. Although, I guess a Gala Legends game maybe should be more, like... knights and stuff. Because Zacian and Zamazenta would probably have, like, a big role in it, right? In fact, we might even get to see them die in it. In fact, I hope not, that'd be fucked up. Quite interested to hear more about the Mega Statue in one of the Riverside towns. The Mega Statue being the Mega Lucario statue, where they're like, this is the first Pokemon to ever Mega Evolve. Which is a lie, actually, that was Rayquaza. Or do you mean the Anastar Sundial? Because if the whole game's set in Lumios, we might never actually get to see the Sundial. We might hear about the Sundial, but we might just not get to... we might not actually get to see it again. Which would be funny, because in terms of mysteries in the game, I'd say that was, like, one of the bigger ones. The Sundial. Ah, fair. Yeah, like, I feel like that was, like, a pretty, like, interesting part, you know? Like, the Sundial, which, when it's evening, it reflects light and it starts fucking turning, and all the Megastones become visible. Interesting concept. But if the whole game's set within Lumios, that's not really going to come back, is it? I still find it funny that people are talking about the power plants still. Like, people are really fucking obsessed with the power plants in the desert. And I'm not quite sure why. Like, I get it. There was a building that you couldn't enter. That clearly led to one of the power plants. But... because the game acts like it's possible to go there. It acts like a key exists. Ah, fair. Well... all the same, I feel like that's clearly a loose end in X and Y. And probably not something that will get explored in the Legends game. But people still act like we might be going back. We might be going back to that other power plant. Like, I'm not slating the theories within X and Y, to be clear. Like, again, like, as you said, the game acts like you can go in there. I remember that there was a building. I forgot about the key part. But the game acts like you can go in there. That is just a simple, like, fact. But I feel like Legends Z to A doesn't really have a reason to go back to a power plant, even if it is set in the future. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for dying. That Pat. He didn't, did he? I thought he was ending it on his own terms. Well, I guess he kind of did. Horror ending. He dies. Or does he? Oh, I see. Horrifying. Music. But yeah, What was I looking for? Things, if it's set in the past, I think we'll get a follow-up on the Ghost Girl. I think it seems very logical for us to at least get an appearance from her, where she, like, does something fucked up. Or maybe even, like, a straight-up backstory for her in a side quest. That would be... That's the interesting way forward, is we get, a whole side quest devoted to her backstory. But I'm unsure if I would want a side quest devoted to her backstory, because I'd almost rather the mystery stay intact, you know? I feel like it's the kind of thing where, like, the mystery is the interesting part. And if we got, like, a whole side quest dedicated to, like, why she does that, it'd kind of, like, pull the curtain back a bit too much. But a side quest about her that maybe, like, doesn't necessarily tell you why she's like that could be fun. There's also a note at the train station, right? I feel like that could end up being followed up on somehow. Even if the note would be written in entirely the wrong time zone. Not time zone, time. Alright. And I'm interested to see what kind of ancestors we get. And new characters as well. Like, that's one of the things I find fun about Legends of Arceus, was they introduced, like, actual new characters. Like, we got Irida and Adaman. We got... I can't remember her name. But that one lady... The Pearl Clan lady and the Diamond Clan guy who fall in love. Those two. There are more ancestorless characters in the game as well. But, it would be... I'm, like, looking forward to seeing, like, what kind of new characters we could get in Zeta A, and then seeing their ancestors later on. It'd also be interesting to see, like, a Looker ancestor. I feel like X and Y would be one, like, since we didn't see a Looker ancestor in, what was it called? In Zeta A. Not Zeta A. Legends Arceus. We didn't see an ancestor in Legends Arceus. So I'd be interested to see if we see an ancestor in... I was gonna say, and I still kind of am gonna say Zeta A. But I was also gonna say, like, a Looker ancestor would arguably make more sense in a Gala one, because Looker obviously bears heavy resemblance to David Tennant. So it makes sense for, like, a Looker ancestor to be there and, I mean, maybe even arguably look like Christopher Eccleston or Tom Baker, which would be funny. But imagine if we get a Looker ancestor who isn't. It's just Looker. I don't know. I feel like that would be a better thing to appear in Gala. A better character to appear in Gala, though. Like, again, I feel like it would be stupid. Maybe not stupid, but I think it would be weird to include another immortal character in Pokemon Zeta A when AZ's there, you know? Because I feel like AZ's, like, kind of loneliness and solitude ought to not be overshadowed by another immortal character also being there, you know? Like, I've seen some people saying, like, Valerie should have an ancestor in the game who is not actually an ancestor, but is just Valerie. Because she is obviously, an interesting character with interesting vibes. I like Valerie a lot, but, like, people are saying that they think it'd be interesting if, like... People are saying it'd be interesting if, like, video game. People are saying they think it'd be interesting if, like, Valerie turned out to be, like, immortal. Am I, like, I'd be down with that idea in, like, later games. I feel like, it would overshadow AZ too much. So I don't think there should be another immortal in Z-A, unless it's specifically plot relevant. But I think it'd be cool to see, like, another immortal character later down the line. Someone docks your search histories to 23 people on live on stream. Do you wanna do it again? Just send your search history over and I can show everybody again. I do want to know what got you into that situation. Like, how did they get your search history, Brugger? Because I feel like that's not a thing that any random person can just get a hold of, you know? That's not the right button. I'm once again going to complain about the fact that we have to wait ages for more Legends Z-A news, because I'm, like, I want to, like, properly start theorizing about the game. But at this point, any theory is just, like, a guess. You know? Like, anything I say about Z-A at this point is more or less just a guess. Rather than, like, a theory saying anything. The best theory I've seen about Z-A, the best actual theory I've seen about Z-A, is, that... What's it called? In Pokemon Legends Arceus, you're a character from the future, brought back through time. Yeah, brought back through time, and, that fits in with, like, the lore of Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, which are all very, like, time and space rooted in their lore. So I saw someone saying, what if your character dies at the beginning of the game and comes back to life? Which would make sense, but might be too dark for Pokemon. Like, I'd say in terms of theories, it's a good theory, you know? Like, it makes sense. I would argue that it... I was going to say, there are going to be quite a few back there, aren't there? It makes sense. It fits in with the lore of Xerneas and Yveltal, obviously, and then, being the Pokemon of life and death, in comparison to Dialga and Palkia being the Pokemon of time and space. So it makes sense for that to kind of, like, relate to, like, oh, you got sat back in time in Legends Arceus, you die and get reborn in Pokemon Z-A. But I feel like that might end up being a bit too dark for a Pokemon game, so I could see them not doing that. Because, like, I feel like the moment you imply your character dies and gets revived, you're, stepping into, like, a higher age rating territory, and I'm not sure Pokemon would really want to do that. Which is fair. Cannot slate that. Obviously Pokemon is a target audience that they still do want to cater to, even if they make a game with more mature themes, like Legends Arceus, referencing death. But I'm not actually sure if any character explicitly dies in Legends Arceus, bluntly put. I'm trying to remember. If anybody remembers a character who explicitly dies, like, then feel free to correct me. But, like, stuff like the, what's it called, Security Corps who went to, try to help with the rampaging Kleavor. Yeah, the Security Corps who went to help with the rampaging Kleavor, they all went to, they all got brought back alive. You in Ranger. Like me specifically, or am I forgetting something that happens in one of those games? They probably wouldn't do it again. I think, a 12 is about the only time it went more mature. The boats sink. Fuck, you're right, in Guardian Signs, the boat. I remember now. Shadows, not Guardian. There was definitely a sinking vessel in Guardians as well, I think. It might have been a submarine in that one. But I think it's also... I think if you're right... I think you're right, it is in Shadows. I remember it being in Shadows. But I now remember it being in Shadows, but I also remember it in Guardian Signs. Because I remember having to escape the boat Blue Eyes was on. I very viscerally remember that escape mission, because, like... Yeah, I remember the escape mission. It must have been, like... I think... Fuck, how old was I think it was the Christmas before the 3DS launched. Oh, no, yeah. It was the Christmas before Black and White launched. Black and White launched that March. Guardian Signs was the first Ranger game I completed. But I remember playing through it as a kid, and I didn't get that far in Shadows of Elmir as a kid. But I did in Guardians. I guess the Evil Team boss's dying has happened. That is true. I'd say it's rather ambiguously left, though, to kill the player and be like, I brought you back from the dead, by the way. Like, they'd really have to pussyfoot around it to, like, not directly say, you were dead and we brought you back to life. So I'm unsure if they'd actually have the balls to do that, although it would be cool. Wait, what's Legends Arceus on the thing? What's this one? Yeah, Legends Arceus is only a 7. Has there been a 12 Pokemon game? Dude, okay, so there's a Pokédex short coming out later this week that you'll probably be able to guess from the context clues I'm about to give you, but I'm not going to tell you. But I'd recommend watching it all the same to confirm or deny your beliefs. What's it called? I needed a Pokemon who only evolved in a specific weather. Perhaps relevant at the moment. So I caught the Pokemon pre-evolution, got it up to the level it needed to be, and then set it up ready to, like, evolve. I then waited in the bamboo area for about 20 minutes for it to rain, at which point I turned around and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna check if I have this Pokemon back on another game. So I checked, and I did. I'm gonna go BRB. I'm still gonna be on call, but I need to quickly send a message to my sister. Yeah. Sorry about this. Oh! I forgot when you say congratulations it sends confetti. I feel like it's probably pretty easy to pick up what just happened via context clues. Of my life, of things I've mentioned pretty recently. But, I feel like some things are a little bit more important than streaming, capiche? I'll probably try to call her later. Alright. Colosseum, oh never mind, it was a 3. A 3, interesting. That means Legends Arceus is a higher age rating. It's interesting because Pokemon games nowadays seem to be consistently 7s, right? Like, do you still get 3s on Switch? Or it's the Switch, like, because the 3DS age rating had to go up to 7, basically. Yeah, no, Animal Crossing's a 3. So, congrats on second uncling. Oh, yeah. Not all that ambiguous. Thank you, Rob, thank you. That is very exciting, though. Yeah, I will hopefully be able to get a chance to talk to her and see new nephew soon. That is very exciting. Alright. Good news. Sorry if I end up being a bit out of it for the rest of the stream. I'm obviously very excited. I know, I didn't want to, like, exclaim it all that loud. Because my dad has a funny story about when my first nephew was born. Obviously, my sister told us, let us know. We FaceTimed them. I think it was literally, it was either a few hours after or the day after to see the new baby and stuff. This was like 2020. This was peak quarantine as well. I'm not even sure if my brother-in-law's parents were there or not. But basically, my dad immediately posted on Facebook, "I'm a grandfather," because he was excited, obviously. Only to get a text from my sister about 2 minutes later, "Dad, I haven't told everybody yet." This isn't like a public knowledge yet. So a bit of a whoops on his part. But, I guess the benefit of, Curb Your Enthusiasm begins. I think I stand as CahirLIVE in the benefit of, I don't think any of you are close friends of my sister's who would end up finding out that information this way, you know? I think the only way you would ever find out that my sister has had a second child is probably through me. I don't know, one interaction I always remember is someone on stream, an old friend of mine, we were talking about stuff, and I mentioned I was an uncle and that my sister had a kid, and they were like, "Oh shit! That's concerning." Like, they didn't realize that my sister is 10 years older than me. Which, I guess is fair. I think it's easy to, like, kind of take the assumption that, like, a sibling is younger than the person you're talking to, especially if you have younger siblings. But it's just a funny conversation, especially considering I was, like, I think I must have been, like, 19 at the time. Obviously, though, she was, 29 at the time, which is a reasonable age to have a child. Alright. But now I am an uncle times 2, an uncle squared. I'm a great uncle now. Which is cool. Alright. That's Poker Portal Cahir. Right. I just wanted to save so I can start from this spot and just get straight on with the everything I need to do. Rather than having to worry about being in the right place and whatnot. Alright. Like, bluntly put, it would be funny if Kleavor continued to elude me. I wouldn't be chuffed. Don't get me wrong. But it would be funny. The Bacon Tower isn't as impressive. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. The Bacon Tower, it's not as impressive. Partially because the bacon just isn't as tall as the tofu, which makes it a much easier tower to make. Alright. Sparkling and encounter, that's what we need, okay. Kleavor time. You got to go, it's getting late and you have a lot of stuff to do, so goodbye and good luck. Understandable, Brugger. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Best of luck with your lots of stuff to do. Alright. I think that's about the amount of Kleavor I'm actually going to get spawned in, so I'm going to refresh. Alright. Let's... I remember using like 3 lots of bacon in yours. I'm using the simpler one where I only have to use 1 lot of bacon. And then specifically salty and sour herba mystica. Was it salty and sour? Yeah, if you use specifically salty and sour herba mystica, which is the exact same combination as the normal sandwich, I'm going to be honest. In fact, salty herba mystica is like the majority here. I'm now realizing. But if you use salty and sour herba mystica, you don't actually have to use as many herba mystica in the hunt. If I get a shiny Kleavor, and then I do another after, I'll probably do the 3 lots of bacon. But for now, I'm going to use the simpler one, because it's simpler to make, and I actually have a lot of salty and sour herba mystica still left over after all the Dunsparce. I say all the Dunsparce. To be fair, there are only about 7 used up sets of salty and sour herba mystica in that. Oh, cat has arrived. Alright. Oh, he was mining away at the little rock. That's cute. Alright. I've been sleeping today as usual, the little creature. Been sleeping and complaining about an empty food bowl when there is still food in the bowl. Right. I'd say something cocky like, she hasn't brought another mouse in yet though, but I feel like that's a great way to jinx it. You know, almost manifest the bringing in of a second mouse, which would be suboptimal, if I do say so myself. I don't think I would like an event like that. Alright. It was after your Mackie's breakfast wrap you had this morning, so you let her have some. Right. Yeah, Missy is generally good about not eating my food. She was particularly bad when we first put her on this medication that makes her hungrier, because she's on medication that makes her hungrier. But she was particularly bad when she first started it. But, like, I always had to, like, ward her away from my food. But especially if you, like, make sure to feed her just before you eat, she tends to begrudgingly sit off to the side. It seems today more like she hovers around me when I'm eating, specifically because I'm sitting on the sofa. Or specifically when I'm sitting on the sofa, she hovers around me when I'm eating, because she just wants to sit on my lap. Which is adorable. But, becomes an issue when it's a streaming night, because she will always sit on my lap when I'm on that sofa. Like, the only reason she won't sit on my lap when I'm on that sofa is if she's already sleeping in my room. I'm honestly not entirely convinced that isn't just a, what's it called? I'm not entirely convinced it isn't a, like, I'm in a place she likes to sit issue. But to be fair, she does it often enough that I think that it is a actual, like, she likes me thing. I don't know, I always remember the story about that person who was like, yeah, me and my partner moved in together, and, like, my cat always sits with me, and my partner's always sits with him, and it's always been like that. But today we swapped seats and found out that the cats are loyal to the sofas, not us. And I can't get that out of my head, but I'm pretty sure the cat is loyal to me. When she realized she wasn't getting any, she retreated to the bedroom. You're not allowed to, as she never, begged before. You gave her a bit of beef from her Subway sandwich. Just one time, and now it's constant. Yeah, I guess that checks out. Like, dogs are funny like that, because the moment you give them one thing, like, for the rest of time, they are, like, convinced it might happen again. Like, if a dog finds, like, a slice of pizza on the grass, on the walk, like, they will always check. They will always check there for the rest of time. Just in case. And then sometimes, like, it was the past life they got fed in. And they remember that. Dogs are like masters of hoping, of never giving up on their desires. And you've got to respect that. You know? Like, dogs are motivated. No matter the failure, they will never give in. They will never give up. They will get their goal. They was never food orientated before that happened. You do give her some nice meats every so often though, but don't do it. But don't do it often. But nowadays she is a little bit more food oriented. You corrupted her with the beef. It's like, in movies, people are like, you don't want to give it a taste for human meat. That's a bad thing. You can't give it a taste for human meat. You gave her a taste for human food. I always find those videos funny where, like, people have to, like, they're preparing their dog's meal like a human meal. Like, pretending to put salt and pepper on it and microwave it and stuff, because otherwise their dog won't eat it. But dogs aren't smart enough to understand that they just waved a bunch of shit over it and didn't actually do anything to it. And we'll be like, yes, this is a gourmet meal. Yeah, it's solely your fault. Yeah, yeah. Why is there a second chapter to this story? I was gonna say something else. Yeah, Missy is funny because, yeah, again, medication that makes her hungrier. She has to be on it, otherwise she won't eat enough. Kidney issues that, of course, surfaced about a year before that supposed kidney vaccine releases. And also that emerged about 2 weeks after Dad took out pet insurance on her. So it didn't count under the pet insurance. Which very kind of her to do that, but that's not the tale I'm telling. The tale I'm telling is, so she's hungry, but she won't eat from a bowl that's, like, been there for a bit a lot of the time. Like, she will, like, nag you to, like, refill it, instead of, like, eating crumbs that are older than 10 minutes. When her bowl isn't how she likes it, she will go around and scrounge. You often hear me saying, stop scrounging to the cat. And that is because random crumbs off the floor that may or may not be edible are infinitely more appealing to her than food in her bowl. Which is ever so confusing. Because sometimes I just see her eating, like... It's obviously, like, fluff or something, you know? It's obviously not actually something edible that she should be ingesting. But because it's on the floor, it seems more appealing to her for some reason. I don't understand her. May have given her some wagyu from a Japanese restaurant. But yeah, I guess she does like treats, now. She does like treats now, which she ignored before. Ah, fair. Before the beef incident. Alright. You, like, opened her third eye with that, clearly. Alright. Oh. I was like, oh, that's weird. We're about an hour in, it's 50 minutes on the timer. But no, we're an hour and a half in, and it's 50 minutes on the timer. Right. Alright. Still Kleavor-less, unfortunately. Devastating. Why is my Kleavor luck specifically so bad? That's my one question, you know? Like... I think my only luck that's been as bad as the Kleavor luck has been the Krogunk luck. That is the only luck that has come near the level of Kleavor luck, is the Krogunk luck. It baffles me, it confuses me. I do not understand why specifically Kleavor eludes me so much. It is kind of funny, I'll give it that, though. Alright. It's a pain, is you can only get like 6 per picnic reset. That is true, that is true. You make a good point. Like, at the moment, I'm playing Minecraft with FreeCam on a server, and it's a useful thing to have. You know, it helps like investigate, like, yeah, it helps investigate. It helps like kind of check what you're building and stuff if you've not got Elytra, which I don't. I'm deliberately not getting them for a bit because I want to like play the game without. My bigger point is, what's it called? My bigger point is the free cam, easy to start, and like it lets you check over areas and stuff. I keep thinking, oh, I should use free cam to check for Kleavor. Oh, I should use free cam to go over there and check if there are any shiny Kleavor over there. Is that site that's shiny? I should check with free cam. It's like a thought that continuously emerges in my head. Thankfully, it's not been a thought that has emerged in real life yet. I'd always find it funny when I hear stories of people, like, thinking about quick saving or using, like, Skyrim abilities in real life. Because they've been playing it a bit too much. I haven't been that lost in the source as of yet. I'm not gonna, like, rule it out, you know? Like, in terms of, life mistakes, I feel like that's not all that far off as one, you know? But, oh well and whatnot. Alright. Oh yeah, Cahir. Oh yeah, Kepler. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's literally 6 at the moment. Oh wait, no, it's 7 now, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is! We're getting more. They're duplicating. Meant to ask, how has your IRL job been going? Managed to infiltrate the Russian Wi-Fi systems yet? Or... Kepler, what are you under the impression I do? Are you trying to get me on, like, a watch list? Thought you were at MI6. I feel like I've forgotten this bit occurring. Like, I'm inclined to accuse you of pulling this bit out your ass, but I also feel like it would be very in character for me to entirely forget that this happened. You know? Oh, cat has left. Pinky promised I didn't start this bit. Okay, yeah, no. I'm not surprised. But the only MI I've been involved in is maths investigators. When I was in year 5, we did MI5, maths investigators, year 5, and they gave us like maths problems, but they were like, your mission if you choose to accept it, and like all like spy lingo and stuff, and it was very cool. And every time maths came up, I got really excited, hoping that we'd get more MI5, but it happened very rarely. It wasn't like a common thing, you know. We could go weeks with no MI5, and it was sad. It disappointed me. I wanted to see it. I wanted to be a maths investigator so bad, you know? And yet, it was a once in a blue moon occurrence. You know, like, that to me was just exciting as, like, watching a film in class. It was an event. I mean, here's a tactic you can use. I love tactics. I'm a bigger fan of polos, though, you know? Still love a good bit of polo. Can't remember when I got this box of polos. I should check. Because I made a short about it. Which probably means I have a picture on my phone. Let's say a message encrypted in scrambled letters, e.g. A to Z, L to W, R to T, or nonsensical. And you have to encrypt the message. Yeah. You can look over all the random letters and analyze how frequent each letter is. E is the most common. Oh yeah, I think I've heard of this one. So you replace the most common letter with E. I think if I were to make a code then, if I were to make a code, I think what I'd do is like make sure the most common letters were like the wrong ones, not E. You know, like people construct entire sentences without using the letter E. I think I would do that. There's a book with no E. There is indeed, indeed. I have heard of the book with no E. I think a couple of other things happened with no E after that book. I remember then I also heard about a book where like it was about a town with like a plaque with the alphabet on it. And like storms and tragedies kept hitting it and knocking letters off. So they couldn't use those letters anymore. Which sounds like a pretty big inconvenience to me. I don't know about you guys, but personally I don't think I would run a system like that. Sounds a little bit silly. Sounds a little amusing. Goodbye, cat. Off she goes. She has finished her nightly window gaze out of my bedroom window and is probably down to gaze out of the bedroom, not the bedroom, out the kitchen window instead. As she does so commonly, little observer that she is. Big nature fan, that one. That little creature. Alright. There are a couple of Minior back there, but not that many, which is nice. Wait, so where did the MA6 bit come from? I'm now kind of nosy. I'm aware this is very much pulling back the curtain. But, like, I just genuinely don't remember this at all. You forgot. Understandable, honestly. I can't slay that at all. For you see, I also forgot. I guess your memory's just as bad as mine, Kepler. Despair, indeed. Going senile. Hey! Hey! I'm not senile yet, I don't think. Maybe. Am I? Senile definition. Why is this link purple? Alright. My controller wire is stuck. This is dismal. Alright. Don't think there's much longer on this. Oh, there's 6 minutes left on the Sammy. That's a little longer than I was expecting. But a doable length of time all the same. Alright. Like, the issue is my brain keeps on wanting to talk about Zeta, you know? Like, that's the main thing my brain, like, wants to think about. Oh yeah, Mario movie 2! I can talk about that. Did you guys see they confirmed another Mario movie? I hope they call it, like, the Mario World movie or something. Like, people have been saying that they should call it, like, New Super Mario Bros. Or, like, New Super Mario. But I think they should call it Super Mario World. I think that would be the most logical name. I hope it's Luigi-focused. Luigi's allowed to have a character and make a more interesting story. Yeah, I mean, Luigi had a bit of a character in the first one, to be fair. But he was very much the damsel character. Which, like, as much as I do like... don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the normal movie. But at the end of the day, it was definitely a mega advertisement. Oh yeah, no, definitely. I'm not... Like, it was a quaint enough time, you know? Full of cool references and, like, I'd say pretty decent scenes and stuff. As in, like, choreographed, like, action scenes and such. Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't, like, go on and act as if it was, like, anything brilliant, if that makes sense. Super Mario Bros. Luigi's Mansion. It was a safe movie to see how it popped off. I don't know, it was by Illumination. I feel like it was a safe movie because they wanted to make a safe movie. You know? In the theatre, we all cheered Chunky's not dead when he showed up. It's not great, it's fun, but it's not super interesting. Exactly. Like, I think it does do some interesting things, you know? Like, Luigi being the damsel, I think, is an interesting idea because obviously, like, Mario's going to have more investment in the way they set it up. In Luigi specifically, than, like, Peach. And I don't know, I appreciated the attempt to not just, like, make Peach a damsel. Because I think that would have been pretty easy to slip into. I'd love the second movie to be more fun and interesting. Didn't they tell of no one being able to hurt in the Mushroom Kingdom? But as soon as they make it to IRL, anti-gravity fails, and people are actually getting bruised. I didn't notice that, honestly. It secretly elevated the stakes, because they're immortal danger instead of cartoon danger. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't notice that. I think I noticed them getting beaten the shit out of, but I didn't notice, them, like, getting actually bruised and stuff. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know, yeah, like, it's an Illumination movie. I don't have high hopes for it, like, becoming interesting in a sequel, you know? I feel like in the grand scheme of things, sequels tend to fall short of what they're succeeding. So, like, it'll be interesting to see how it is. Like, I think... I'm not going to go into it expecting anything more than just, like, more of what the first movie was, which was, like, a pretty, like, quaint time, you know? A pretty fun time, clearly, like, a product that cared about Mario. You know, the moment they were at the mushroom, that's when Mario gets badly hurt. Interesting. I get it, yeah. Maybe the Zelda movie can pull it off. But the devs aren't exactly known for their storytelling. Yeah, and it sounds like the people they partnered with aren't exactly known for their storytelling either. Bluntly put. I'm not sure we can expect much more. Like, again, I'm not really going to expect loads out of a Zelda movie. Bluntly put. Or out of the Zelda movie, bluntly put. It'll be cool to see it, like, once it comes out, but... Like, it'll be interesting to see what they do with it, because Zelda's a very, like, Mario is a franchise, is a very broad franchise, but, like, what Mario is, like, a very firm idea, you know? I'd say Zelda games often, like, are very varied and, like, a Mario movie, it makes sense. They start in the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, they start in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they have to beat Bowser, who's in his Fiery Kingdom. And they have to, like, go to other places and stuff along the way. Like, I'd say the Mario movie is, like, a pretty, like, predictable, like, thing to nail down. What was it called? Zelda, I feel like, is a much broader franchise, you know? Like, it's not always Ganondorf. Sometimes it's just Ganon, you know? Although Link and Zelda tend to be the consistent characters in it, and Link tends to be from a more laid-back background, I'd say especially after Breath of the Wild entering the scene, what a Zelda movie would be has become a lot less certain in my mind. Let's see one of the other villains in main Mario games, Tanga. I'll be honest, I'm not sure who. I don't recognize the name. I'd expect it to be Wario. I'd expect Wario to at least. I think Wario and Waluigi, I'd say, are pretty likely to make appearances in a second Mario movie. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bowser still has, like, a presence. All right. Before I start this next round of shiny hunting, I'm going to go to the toilet. I'll be back in just a moment. Make sure to stay tuned, though, because once I am back, we'll be continuing the hunt. And we are back again. Let's get back into the game. A Maryland evil guy from Daisy's Kingdom. Oh, and that would actually make sense as a villain, to be fair. Because it would make sense for Daisy to be included in a sequel as well. Like, okay, my prediction is, my prediction is we are going to get we've had the Mario movie. Next is going to be like Mario World movie or something like that. And then after that, we're going to get the Mario Galaxy movie. And then maybe they'll continue milking it after that. But those will be the first three. Peaches from space. I wouldn't be surprised if we find out a Peach backstory at some point. Like, I don't know. I like Peach in the Mario movie because she sees like the first human she's ever seen and is like immediately smitten by this guy. Like, genuinely kind of funny. Like, Mario is the only other human she's ever seen and she's immediately like, wood. Like, logistically, she should not be inviting this random guy who just showed up on her doorstep to, like, come along with her on this diplomatic mission, but she is very confident in listening to her Peachness. And it works out in the end, I guess. Do things end well? Yes. I just find it amusing. But yeah, it won't be coming out for a while, so I'm really interested to see what it ends up being like when it does come out, though. Honestly, my guess is Peach is from the human world, but I'd be surprised if they kind of elaborated on that lore, because why have a movie take place in the human world when they could have it take place in the more interesting fantasy world that they got? Okay, so we've already seen, like, the fire power-up, the ice power-up, and the cat power-up. I wonder... Oh, wait, we've also seen the Tanuki suit, haven't we? I'm just wondering what other Mario power-ups they could use at this point. Because, like, obviously they're going to want to showcase new Mario power-ups in different movies. But they've kind of already gone out the gate with a lot of the more iconic ones. Spring... Maybe. Spring... Hopefully. Would that confirm Mario Movie 2 as peak to you if they had the spring power-up? I think they should give him the power-up where he can become Gokonba. Let Mario be Gokonba. Like, I feel like we're a bit too far out from an Odyssey movie at this point. I don't think we'll see Cappy as a main character. Because I doubt they'll want to do with that in the second movie. And, like, after the third, we'll probably have the next main series Mario game and stuff. So I'd be surprised if they want to introduce a new thing like that in it. I guess we could see some of the, Mario Wonder power-ups. Maybe we'll see Elephant Mario. I could 150% see Elephant Mario making an appearance. Like, I'm almost, like, confident to bet on that. on like an Elephant Mario. Like, at least like a bit of action from Elephant Mario, you know? Because they went with the cat suit and the Tanuki suit, and those are both like the frontlining power-ups from games. So my bet is in a Mario Movie 2, the two power-ups we'll see is the cape. We'll see the cape. Or maybe the propeller hat. And we'll see Elephant Mario. That's my bet. We saw Mini Mushroom. That is true. That is true. We also saw Mini Mushroom. So it's clear they're very down to... Wait, no. Yeah, no, it's clear that they're very down to acknowledge the 2D games as well. Like, later 2D games as well. To be fair, the Mini Mushroom was, like, a pretty smart inclusion. I enjoyed the Mini Mushroom being there. And, like, that's what I liked about it. Was... Like, I've mentioned this before, but I fucking hate when video game movies or movies referential to other material bank too hard on, like, the first iteration of it. Yeah, just bank too hard on the first iteration of it, you know? Like, I feel like there could have easily been a Mario movie where, like, it was very contained in, like, the first Mario, and they didn't really do much else beyond that. But they were confident in putting stuff like the Mini Mushroom and the Cat Mario in it as well, which are later additions to the franchise, but still very impactful to people. Emerald Donut, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. And Jordan, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. That is a long list. Machamp, Snorlax, Polygraph, Jinx, Golem, Gengar, Alakazam, Raichu, Jolteon, Vaporeon, and Flareon. All these Pokemon have in common, they're from Gen 1. Alright. But yeah, we're shiny hunting Kleavor today. I have done this hunt before, but I failed it. I did not get a Kleavor the entire stream. It wasn't even like I saw a shiny Kleavor and I lost it. I just didn't even see a shiny Kleavor. They're all found before Surge. Ah, fair. It's been good. Your bike chain came off on your way home from work. That is not fun at all. Hopefully you can get that nice and fixed quick. But yeah, things are pretty solid in this corner. Had a chill day. Actually sorted out some of my edited video folder. It was more or less just in chronological order up till this point. And that was becoming an issue. It was taking a while to load. So I've now sorted everything into better places. Brendan, hello, how goes it? I hope your week's gotten off to a good start. The hunt's going alright. We haven't got a Kleavor yet, unfortunately. Got to go, fair enough, Kepler. See you later. I hope you have a great rest of your day. It was nice seeing you stop by. And thank you for the luck. I will probably need it at this point. But yeah, we are hunting Kleavor today. Obviously, we didn't get one last time we hunted Kleavor. Yeah, what brain am I trying to have? Yeah, we've had a whole stream of no Kleavors. We might be in for a second. I guess that would be funny. It wouldn't be good, though. Rickman, you come with a challenge. Well, depends on what's the challenge. Alright, I think I reset a bit too early there. Oh well. Alright. I do like how they're bringing, Are you hunting Scyther or actual Kleavor? The Kleavor. I'm hoping more for a Kleavor than a Scyther. If I get a Scyther, what's it called? If I get a Scyther, I guess I can evolve it, but I'd rather get the Kleavor. Find a shiny in the next hour. I'll give you an initial shiny. I'll pass. I prefer getting shinies on my own, thanks. But yeah, I'm hoping for the actual Kleavor itself. If I get a Scyther, that's cool, but I think I'd continue looking for the Kleavor. Alright, Alright. You can't evolve Kleavor in this game anyway, as far as I'm aware. I don't think the Black Augurite's in it, unless I'm mistaken. Is it? No, I don't think it is. I'm pretty... Uh-oh. Why do they always do this? Like, after a bit, they just... Like, it's not every time they cross the mountain, but there's, like, a decent amount of it. How's your Krongong doing? You've incorporated the Dunsparce into your main team. Hell yeah, yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. The Krogunk is having a luxurious life in one of my shiny boxes. I appreciate the shiny all the same. Most of my shinies do that. I don't know, I consider shinies more like trophies than... Yeah, I consider my shinies more like trophies, to be blunt. That's why I like hunting. Because they're like a... trophy of your labor, if that makes sense. That's what I enjoy about shiny hunting. Would you ever do battles against viewers sometime or no? I did back when I did PokeMMO. Bluntly put, I'm not the biggest fan of battling. It's elements of the franchise I see why people like competitive battles. But, like, I've never really been all that good at competitive stuff in general myself. You know what, let's put Bad Egg on the team. I realized he was in the back. Oh, Mister was the one I had. Right. I thought it was not serious. Huh. Yeah, Mister's in an optimal. Bad Egg can join us for the rest of the stream. Alright, can join the audience of the hunt audience with varying Spewpaw and our triple segment. Yeah, good boy, indeed, indeed. Is the name Bad Egg fine? Are you alright with the name Bad Egg? Those are the words I'm trying to say. Are you alright with the name Bad Egg? I realised I probably should have given you the opportunity to name it since it was a gift from you, rather than name it a bit like that. If you've had a different name in mind, I'm a-okay with changing it. Yeah, it's cool, kind of funny. Nice, nice, nice. Damn, decent few Kleavor this time. But yeah, no, maybe there will come a day when I try to get into comp more. But bluntly put, I don't think it's that close. In the grand scheme of things. Like, I think Mario Kart's like the only competitive game I've really managed to properly get into. I don't know what it is about comp. I've never entirely gelled with it. It's a thing I feel like I should dip my toes into more, you know? I was just wondering, what would your 6th Pokemon would be if you were to battle? But it's cool if you don't. Oh, I see, I see. I mean, obviously, Croagunk wouldn't be that all that efficient of a team member. But Toxicroak can be pretty solid, right? I guess I'd probably try to, like, go with an actual, like, comp team. My latest team was in the Kanto Pokemon. What was that team? Because that team was good. It was, like, a really good team. Because I remember back in the past I used stuff like Charizard and Clefable. And they ended up pulling their weight well. What was my Pokemon Kanto team? Happy to have more lessons sometime. That would be nice, but again, I'm not sure if I want to get back into comp anytime soon. It might be a nice thing to, like, do next gen as the scene starts. Perchance that this isn't a set in stone thing. But, we'll see when that happens. Just Kleavor will be a great leader. It has a stone axe, which does damage and sets up rocks. Oh, right, yeah, and his Swain Samurott sets up spikes with each attack, doesn't it? Yeah. I remember, I think he had Hacks, Ninetales, Primate, Quack, and some others. Did I ditch Ninetales? I forget. I know I planned on ditching Ninetales at some point, but yeah, I remember I had Alpha Quagsire, who's the goat. I had Primate, which was funny because obviously Annihilate would arrive later that year. Would it, or was Annihilate already there? When did I do Pokemon Kanto? No, it must have been after Scarlet Violet released I did Pokemon Kanto. I must have just been forgetting about Annihilate at that time. Oh, I had Magnezone. I remember Magnezone. Yeah, no. I remember Haxorus because I swept a decent chunk of your team with it, even though it was burned, I still managed to, like, get through a decent chunk of your team. Quagsire I remember because it underperformed. And then I remember Magnezone because, it actually, like, did very well for, like, such a late edition. Can't remember if I kept Ninetales around, though. Because I know Ninetales was my Rainer counter. TM. How's Primarina in comp these days? I do like a good Primarina. But I'm not sure if it's bulky enough for it. Because generally you want your water types to be bulky, right? Pokemon Primarina. Does Sparkling Aria do more damage when your opponent's burned? Yeah, it's got pretty air defense. It's got good special defense. But its defense isn't anything to sneeze at. So everybody can, like, see a list of all Pokemon stats. Maybe this one? Oh no, that's just Primarina Space Stats. Alright. Well, I mean, you can Throat Spray with it. Oh, that's true, that's true. Because its hidden ability is Liquid Voice. Alright. Yeah, 3 weaknesses: Electric, Grass, and Poison. Resists Dark, Bug, Water, Fire, Ice Fighting. But is neutral against Steel and Fairy. Obviously could be a Dragon counter with a Throat Spray. Does it get any dark attacks that could help it be a safe Flutter main counter? Or Ghost, I guess. It gets Shadow Ball, which could be interesting. Because I know Flutter main's generally, like, the biggest threat in comp at the moment, or is... I might not know that, actually. That might be a thing of the past. Dracozolt and Dracovish compare? I guess Dracovish has the advantage of being... Oh, I see. I'm starting to think I see how they compare. Oh, wait, no, they have very similar speed stats. Because they basically have the same signature move from what I remember. I think Vicious Rend and Boltbeak basically do the same thing, right? I mean, Gen 9 I'm not that knowledgeable. My competitive days are in Gen 6 with Megas. I could possibly throw something together in a pinch. Not sure what kind of metas are around at the moment. I'm, like, vaguely aware of some metas. I know, like, Fluttermane was at least a good a while. Like, Fluttermane has at least had time in the spotlight. Vicious Rend and Boltbeak do double damage if you go faster. Exactly. And I remember Dracovish ended up being, like, a very good Pokemon in Sword and Shield meta. I don't know, it's a shame... I wonder when we'll see the Sword and Shield fossils again. Because it's a bit hard to make them appear in the wild, because they're fucked up monstrosities specifically based on people who can't assemble fossils correctly. And they can't breed. Which means it's not like you're going to be able to get, like, an environment full of them, like they have Shieldon and Cranados over here, and over in the Crown Tundra they have stuff like Omanite and Archon and Tortuga. Like, you're not going to find those in the wild because of that. Which means they kind of have to be gotten through, like, actual fossil stuff. Legends CA might have them. No, you're really onto something there! Because, like... Yeah! No, you're, like, genuinely correct. I'm not sure if France was as involved in... Like, if French paleontology was as involved in, like, fucking up dinosaur fossils and putting them in museums. Really? You were just joking? As in you were actually joking, or you did mean it? I mean, for doubles, I've seen some unique strats with stored power Psycup ones. Oh yeah, I think I've seen a few of my own, honestly. No, I didn't mean it, but it'd be cool if they were. No, yeah, so, like, the Gala fossils are based on when people first started finding dinosaur bones. Obviously, like, we just started finding them, and we didn't really know how they actually fitted together. So, like, we made a lot of fucked up dinosaurs that just didn't exist. I think Crystal Palace is, like, a very notable place, because it's got a bunch of statues of dinosaurs that never actually existed. We thought they did at the time, because we assembled bones in that way, but we were just wrong, you know? Like, it's been like an overtime thing. We've slowly gotten more and more accurate with what dinosaurs probably did look like. And that's why shit like the T-Rex got feathers for a bit and then it lost them again and now it's chubbier and stuff. Because, like, we're slowly piecing together, like, oh, but it would make more sense if this happened, you know? As we get more experience with fossil reconstruction and whatnot. The Gala fossils are very much based on early paleontology when we just slap shit together and we're like, dinosaur! So it would make sense for them to be present in a Legends game when fossil resurrection maybe was an early practice. But fundamentally, maybe you could argue fossil resurrection as a practice shouldn't appear until, like, late 1900s Pokemon time. Well, like, whatever the equivalent of the Pokemon late 1900s are. Because obviously it's a very, like, technologically advanced concept. But, like, if Legends ZA does indeed take place during, in the same time frame that, the redevelopment of Patterrz took place, then I could easily see the Gala fossils being there as early as, like, the first fossil Pokemon made. The first fossil Pokemon developed. When were dinosaurs discovered? 1819. So I feel like that is like a pretty consistent time zone. Like, it wouldn't be like far-fetched, because the redevelopment of Paris started in, I believe, the 1850s? Was there not 4 of them, though? Yeah, there's 4 of them. There's Arctozolt. There's Arctozolt and Dracovish. And those are soft version exclusives, because you can get the other fossils in the games. And then there's Dracozolt and Arctovish. And those are the 4 little creatures. Because you can, obviously there's 4 fossils and you can combine them. You can combine the backs with either head. Which I think is a fun little way of having, like, the Galar fossils are easily my favourite fossils. Just because of the concept of them. And I think they're like kind of goofy, fucked up appearance. I enjoy it a lot. I think the Galar fossils are easily some of the best designed fossil Pokemon. Obviously, there are a lot of other cool ones, but... like, I'm really interested to see where fossil Pokemon go from here. Just because we seem to be getting them less and less. Like... Sun and Moon didn't have any fossils. The fossils in Sun and Moon were all fossils of previous games that you could buy and then revive from Coney City. And then, obviously, Paldea doesn't have any fossil Pokemon, but it does have the Paradox Pokemon. And I feel like you could argue the Paradox Pokemon and the fossil Pokemon are pretty similar in concept, which means it makes sense while fossil Pokemon weren't present in Paldea. But they're entirely not present in Paldea, which is interesting. And then... so it'll be interesting to see if Gen 10 has any new fossils. Like, I guess it depends how big the Gen 10 dex is. Like, it intrigues me that they kind of buffed the Pokedex size up again in Gen 9. Because, like, Pokedexes had been, like, under 100, like, way under 100 for, like, a while, when generally they were, like, hovering around 100. Like, Gen 1 obviously introduced 150, Gen 2 introduced about 100, Gen 3 introduced about 100, Gen 4 introduced about 100, Gen 5 introduced about, like, 160, including extra forms and such. And then Gen 6 all of a sudden only introduced about 60-ish new Pokemon. Obviously, I think Megas ended up factoring into that, and I think Megas ended up factoring into the lower Pokedex count in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Did I say Megas? I meant a regional variants ended up counting into the lower Pokedex counts of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. With Sun and Moon, and then obviously Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon had a few new Pokemon. And then... what was it called? Sword and Shield obviously also had regional variants and then had G-Max forms on top of that. So I could see that being like the reason why those Pokedexes were smaller. But I feel like Paldea's being like a straight up 119. I think Paldea is the biggest Pokedex we've had since Univert. That's not that big of a statement considering they immediately went down after Univert. I think Paldea's Pokedex is comparable in size to Hoenn. I'm pretty sure in Pokedex sizes it goes Unova, Kanto, Paldea. So I'll be interested to see the Pokedex size of Gen 10. Because I could see argument for Paldea's Pokedex being big specifically because they wanted to get to Pokemon 1000, and they wanted that to be a special Pokemon to reflect that. And then obviously the Paradox. Paldea's the third biggest. Indeed it is, indeed it is. It's about 119 if I'm not mistaken, right? I think that's counting the DLC mons. But even without, like... it's still about 100-ish. But yeah, I'm interested to see how big Gen 10's Dex is going to be. And I'm also interested to know... Like, we'll never know, but I'm interested in how much James Turner leaving as the lead Pokemon director, like, Pokemon art director, had an impact on, like, the amount of Pokemon in the decks. Because James Turner... Well, there starts at around 913, so 107. I could have sworn I saw it was about 119. How many Pokemon in Gen 9? 120. Oh. Yeah, so 120 is the total. Which is actually very large in considering, like, Kanto. Like, that's 30 off of Kantos. If we get any new... If we get any new Pokemon in Zeta A, Gen 9 will be, like, encroaching very close to Kanto. And I could see us getting about... probably less than 10, to be fair. Because there was less than 10 in Legends Arceus, wasn't there? But it really depends how many new Pokemon we get in Zeta A. I could see Zeta A entirely, like, avoiding regional variants and new Pokemon and stuff, and just focusing... Oh, sandwich over. Which isn't great, because I think the next sandwich is going to be the last of the stream. Hate to say it, I don't think we're getting Kleavor this stream either. Not that great, I'll be honest. So it goes up to 1033 then. Assumably, yeah. Yeah, no, it does. But yeah, I could see us just getting Megas in Zeta A. Is, like, a blunt fact. Because, like, obviously they're going to be designing new Pokemon for it. They're going to want to design new Megas to, like, make new Megas. Like, I'm very interested to see how many Mega Evolutions are going to be in Zeta A. Because obviously, like, there are about 48 Mega Evolutions. I feel like we can cut out Mega Rayquaza and Mega Mewtwo. Okay, no, we can definitely cut out Mega Rayquaza. Maybe Mega Mewtwo, depending on the time frame of the game. If it's in the past, no Mega Mewtwo. If it's in the future, maybe Mega Mewtwo. And then I'd say, like, the Hoenn Megas are probably pretty unlikely. I could see them keeping the Megas in the game that don't make the cut, specifically just to give people a chance to use Megas in, what's it called? They'd want to give people the chance to use the, old Megas that aren't in the game. Because obviously this is one of 2 games on Switch with Mega Evolution. I just think we'll be getting new Megas, or will they just be returning ones? I'd be surprised if we didn't get any new ones. Even if we only get a handful of new ones. Because they actively advertised it in the first trailer of the game. Like, they knew what they were doing by saying Megas are back. Because, like, as much as it's easy to be like, oh, gaming companies exist in a bubble, they don't know what the fans want. They do. They know what the fans want. They know people have been craving for Megas for ages. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that they're very aware that people have been wanting Megas to come back. It would be very surprising to me if we got no new ones. I wouldn't entirely rule it off the table until the first trailer again, like, but I'd be very surprised if we got no new Megas. Because it seems like a great opportunity to give newer Pokemon Megas, you know? Like, the only Kalos Pokemon with a Mega Evolution is Diancie. At the least, I would expect Kalos starters to get Megas. But then even then, like, there's Pokemon like Pyro and Malamar, who are very, like, Pyro, Malamar, Pangoro, very, like, high-profile Pokemon from the Kalos region without Megas, because obviously, like, they didn't get, like, no new Pokemon got Megas except Diancie. So it'd be surprising to me if, like, we saw them not give Megas to more Kalos Mons. And if they're doing that, it would make sense for some Gen 7 and 8 Mons to get Megas as well. I doubt we'll get any Gen 9 Megas, but, Mega Urshifu, here we come. Exactly. I just hope Xerneas and Yveltal don't get Megas, because it would be a shame to see more Pokemon, more legendaries get their bonus forms restricted to, Mega-only games, like Groudon and Kyogre. Like, I don't know, the thing that annoys me about Groudon and Kyogre is it's primal. Their forms are primal forms. They have primal reversions. They're not Mega Evolutions, they're a different thing. Which means you could still give us the red and blue orb and not have to give us the rest of the Megas. You could just give us Groudon and Kyogre's new forms and leave it at that. But no. We don't even get Primal Groudon and Kyogre in later games. They have their new moves. Like, Dialga and Palkia have kept their origin forms in Scarlet Violet. Primal Ray. I don't know, I feel like Rayquaza's lore is already kind of, like, very established into giving it a Mega Evolution instead. But then again, Primal Ray should probably exist just for the fact of, it'd be on, like, I wonder if they don't give Primal Groudon and Kyogre back their forms, because Rayquaza can't get its form again in a game without Mega Evolution. I wouldn't be surprised if that was, like, just the reason that happened, you know? But it's sad to see Pokemon that fundamentally have other forms just lose access to them. Like, Megas, I'm more okay with. Like, in general, like, I'm more okay with Megas, because those are, like, that's, like, a gimmick-related form. But specifically Legendaries, because, like, so many Legendaries have new forms now. I guess Mewtwo's also lost its Mega. Necrozma's lost its Ultra form. I'm going to guess Terrapagos and Ogerpon are going to lose their bonus forms as well. Imagine if they just turned around in Gen 10 and said, here, have Megas and Terrestrialization. We've made the two... We've made the two best gimmicks. They're back. And Z-moves. No, we're getting bloated. That's why I'm just saying Megas and Terra. Like... I don't know, I'd be fine if Megas didn't come back. I'd be fine if Next Gen had no gimmick at all, honestly. I'd rather it had no gimmick at all, rather than having to come up with a new one. Because I feel like Terrestrialization, they peaked. Terrestrialization is the best mechanic, you know? Everything I liked about Z-moves is in Terrestrialization, but better. Megas I do like the designs of, don't get me wrong, but I feel like as a mechanic it's probably one of the worst. Just because of how limited it is. And how badly it's used in its own home generation. And, like, to be fair, I think Dynamax is better integrated. I think Dynamax is better integrated into Gen 8 than Z-moves are into Gen 7. As much as I love Gen 7, obviously, like, Z-moves are a very missable mechanic. If you one-shot your opponent's Pokemon or use a Pokemon that they're not going to want to use the Z-move against, then bosses with Z-moves just won't use them. I like the fact that every boss has a Z-move, unlike Megas, but they're very much missable things. I genuinely believe we're getting Charizard Z. I think you're not... I could see us getting Charizard Z because we're going to get regional variants of the Kanto starters. I think we're going to get Kanto starter regional variants, and megas for the new megas for them, and megas for the Kalos starters. Because in my head, it makes no sense for us to get a new set of starters for the Zeta A, like a brand new set of starters for Zeta A, entirely fresh, like an entirely fresh set of new starters for Zeta A, kind of Legends Arceus style, megas for the Kalos starters, and then the Kanto starters would have to come back because they have megas that are very iconic to Kalos. So I think we'll either get the Kalos starters just as regular starters, again in Kalos, what's it called? Either we'll get the Kalos starters because it's Kalos and it's just, we're going to get the Kalos starters again, or we'll get the Kanto starters either normally at their base form or entirely new forms for them, the whole evolution line. Just with XYZ, and we already have Charizard X and Y. I don't know, I feel like... I think we'll have to see if we get Z Megas. But I could see us just not getting Z Megas in the sense that we got X and Y Megas because they were meant to be version exclusives. Pokemon Zeta A isn't... Pokemon Zeta A was clearly named and marketed as such because it's Pokemon Z, but it's not Pokemon Z. It's a different game entirely. It is... at least assumably, most likely, a game with an entirely new plot, an entirely new Pokedex. Well, not entirely new Pokedex, a new Pokedex, new characters, new a lot of things. I don't think that just because this game has a Z in it, means that we're likely to get Z forms, Z Megas. Partially because only one Pokemon has X and Y Megas, and that's Charizard. And I think, especially if it's set in the past, only Charizard... Okay, no, to be clear, what I'm trying to say is I think only Charizard's going to return. Mewtwo I don't think is going to return. Unless the game's set in the future, when it might. But I feel like it's probably not. I feel like Zygarde will be easier to get. Maybe. Like, to be fair, Groudon and Kyogre... Wait, did Groudon and Kyogre have easier catch rates? They might have. Rayquaza had a lower catch rate. Reshiram and Zekrom had lower catch rates the first time you fight them, at least. Like, in Black and White 2, they have regular catch rates. Xerneas and Yveltal had high catch rates. So I could see it being, like, made easier. But I could also see the return of the Zygarde Cube, because Dexio and Cena didn't say they made it. They said they found it. The Zygarde Cube is just a natural thing that exists. Maybe we'll end up making it in Legends Zeta A, to be fair. But, I think gathering Zygarde cells will still be part of the game. Just depends how obtrusive a part of the game it ends up being. Like, are we talking, like, how it was done in Alola, or are we talking, like, a different way? Hopefully not, I hated that. I don't know, like... most open world games have a form of little collectible that you have to go around and collect. Especially, like... all the Pokemon games that have been more open world have had that little collectible that you have to go around and collect. Like Gimmighoul, the Footprints of the Swords of Justice, Diglett... Wait a minute, wait a second. There you are. No, let me, okay. Wait a second. Wait a minute. You love to see it. I was genuinely thinking we weren't going to get this guy. Get this gal, actually. Let me just double-check Kleavor's moveset before I try and full swipe it. Because I don't want to accidentally let it... I don't want it to kill itself. Okay, it's got Sword Stance, X Scissor, Rock Slide, and Agility, I think. In fact, it doesn't seem to get any recoil moves at all. Oh, unless stone axes. No, stone axe isn't. Don't also swords dance. I'm not sure what a Kleavor will do with a sword stance though. Alright, I'm gonna get it to 1 hit point, I think. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. Okay, it's still swords dancing, which is a bit scary. It's Karen, lol. I don't know, I kinda like Karen. That wasn't a crit catch, this isn't catching. Yeah. I don't want to use up all of my... I was going to say, that's going to do a decent chunk, but it did less than I thought it was going to. I'm going to try a second one. Okay, no, we're not capturing. Okay, cool. I guess we'll just... Now we have one more friend ball, we might as well. You know, it's a bit funny, you know. Aww. Aww. Boo-womp. Boo-wow. Got me excited then, I'm gonna be real. Uh-oh. Now we have Spewpar and Mister, they should be fine. Oh, because I reset Bad Egg? It's not on the team anymore. I'll have to rectify that in a moment. Okay, yeah, she is, been a little bit resistant to this, I'm going to be honest. Maybe I should have heeded Kevin's advice. Never mind. Alright. Love Ball? I guess that probably would work with Blue Boy, right? Yeah, it would. Alright. I feel like I've already committed myself to the name Karen. Unless Rob has any particular deciding argument to not call her Karen. If we get a second one, we can name her Ethel. I should have added her to the party. How much time left? We have half of the time left. Let's do a bit of saving. Let's heal up Blue Boy. The minus to heal your whole team is genuinely one of the most useful mechanics. I will not change my mind. Right. Bad Egg is now on the team. I'm gonna get Jumping Gun back. Oh no, she's like half dead. I guess I could have just left her like that. There was no need to heal her. She won't be seeing the light of battle. Whereabouts you hunting? The only place you can get Kleavor. Which is this little U-shaped bit here by the lake. That big, like, bit of iron. That's the only place in the Blueberry Academy you can find Kleavor. I'm not sure if outbreaks can spawn elsewhere. Like, there's a chance outbreaks can spawn elsewhere. But, I'm not sure. But, the way I'm hunting, which is sandwiches, it's only here. Alright, I got very lucky there, I'm gonna be real. You just transferred yours? That is, what's it called? That's understandable. It's definitely easier to get in Legends Arceus, but I just kind of wanted a Scarlet Violet Kleavor, because it meant I could catch it in whatever ball I wanted, which ended up being a Dusk Ball. I kind of would have liked a Friend Ball Kleavor. Maybe I'll have to come back here later. I shouldn't, but maybe I will. When I say Karens are usually meme negatively, so maybe I just don't like the name now. But if we're going for okay names, maybe Katarina. Well, that is a nice name as well. Any other opinions on this matter? Because I'm now kind of torn. I do like Katarina. I really have to update my playlist because if I add like 5 more songs, it would be... the playlist would be full. Kind of putting the whole edginess with Katana. Yeah, no, I was thinking that. Katana indeed. Which is ironic, since the Kleavor have axes for hands. Which is kind of like having katanas for hands, if it wasn't. Right. Katarina. Anything else spawning before I reset this batch? I don't think so. Right. Dominic, hello, how goes it? I hope your week has gotten off to a good start. We're shiny hunting for Kleavor today. Failed this hunt last time I tried it, but this time it has been a resounding success. And we have gotten the Kleavor. Very chuffed with that, if I'm honest. Wait, does Bug Rock have any quad weaknesses? Katana's probably the best one, but Toph is another good one. Oh, I do like Toph, but I think we'll go with Katarina for now. You got something great today? It's a jar of toys / Dicky Toys 1 to 24 scale Bumblebee. Ooh, very nice, very nice. I still need to see those new Transformers movies. There's been a couple, hasn't? No, yeah, there has. I don't know. I feel like I heard like a general good sentiment from them. At least like general consensus was they were better than the Michael Bay ones. I think. As iconic as the Michael Bay ones are, I think, at this point. Although I've only actually seen one of the Michael Bay. You like Katana as well. You just adapted it because it's axes. That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, I only saw Dark Side of the Moon. I think that was it called Dark Side of the Moon, or was it just called, like, Dark Moon or something? Shadow Toys is still making the Transformers diecast range. I mean, makes sense. Transformers is still, like, a pretty iconic brand. Dark Side, fair. Yeah, no, that's the only one I, like, think I've seen of the Michael Bay Transformer movies. Right. Then they done a spin-off called Bumblebee. Yeah, but that wasn't Michael Bay. That was, more or less like a new Transformers movie, from what I understand. They made the designs more similar to the cartoons and stuff. You saw the most recent one? It was fine, a bit nothing. The mechs look worse. Oh, that's a shame, that's a shame. Because I heard people generally hyping up Bumblebee, so I thought we might be in for like some good Transformers movies, but I guess maybe I was mistaken? I don't know, I guess... Yeah. I've not seen it, so I can't really hedge my bets that much, but... No, there's another one after Bumblebee. Ah, fair. Was that one any good? Can I ask you a weird question? Shoot. Concerned, but shoot. Came out last year. Oh yeah, no, I know that there was Bumblebee and then there was another one with like monkeys and stuff. What was your favourite cartoon growing up? I mean, I'm a VTuber, I feel like that's not that odd of a question. Like, I'm very much playing Pokemon at the moment. I got worried there. But yeah, no, favorite cartoon growing up. I think I would have to say Adventure Time. Yeah, no, I'd say Adventure Time. Because, like, stuff like Steven Universe, I think I did thoroughly enjoy. But, like, by the time Steven Universe finished, I was, like, an adult. So I feel like, growing up... Like, yeah, no, I got into Steven Universe, like, as a teenager. Except Pokemon. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really watch the Pokemon anime all that much. I watched the Diamond and Pearl anime a decent amount. No, you know what? I did watch the Pokemon anime a decent amount. Who am I kidding? But I kind of fell off of it into XY. I've only really started watching it again with Horizons. What was the one with the Spaceman and the Fog? I could not tell you, I'll be honest. Oh, was that the one with the Spaceman and the Fog as in dog? It was just a hat, but it was the one with the Spaceman and the dog. Was it quite a spaceman? But yes. Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed Adventure Time. Other than that, Phineas and Ferb is definitely up there for me. Phineas and Ferb is a great show. They actually, I think they're still broadcasting Season 1 live on repeat, just constantly. Like, I remember when I was younger, like... My mother wasn't all that, like... the type of person to, like, sit down and watch, like, the kids shows I watch with me. We watched TV and stuff together. But, like, obviously, like, when I was watching kids shows, she wasn't all that interested. But Phineas and Ferb, she did go out of her way to watch with me. Because it's just that good of a show. It's just one of those cartoons that's clearly made with, like... clearly made to not just treat kids like an idiot. I'd say Adventure Time definitely falls into that as well. Did you ever watch The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? I did. Although I think the one I ended up watching more of was the sequel series where they were on the boat. I think by the time I got into it, they pretty quickly moved on to the boat. And then... Gravity Falls I enjoyed. That was another good one. Regular Show. When you grew up, it was the Batman animated series. Oh, that's fair, that's fair. That was a... Well, I've always heard good things about that one. My superhero show was Ultimate Spider-Man, which I don't think is well liked these days, but I enjoyed it at the time. I thought it was good. Right, other than that, the Looney Tunes show was on when I was younger, actually. Which was like slice of life Looney Tunes, basically. And easily the best incarnation of Lola Bunny. Ben 10. Ben 10. I'll always hype up Ben 10. Ben 10 was peak. All of it, honestly. I know people often like fight over which series of Ben 10 was the best. It was all great. I can't really comment on the reboot, but Got a toy to make a Toyota Supra with a Star Butterfly figure? Star Butterfly? Remember the previous one to that, Spectacular Spider-Man, which was awesome, but only got one series. Yeah, I often hear good things about Spectacular Spider-Man. He showed up in Across the Spider-Verse as well. Maybe Looney Tunes was good in your opinion? Honestly, I never watched it, so I couldn't really comment. But I will trust your assessment. What other cartoons? There was the Mr. Bean cartoon as well. I only really watched a bit of that, though. I didn't watch much of it. 4 minutes left. What's the next hunt going to be? I will be continuing the Minchino hunt on next Monday. After that, I think I should probably... I need to get the Munchlax from Ogre ousting. Ogre ousting. We've done a couple of streams of that. Me and Rob tried it, then Felix got on board and tried it as well. I feel like I ought to do that sooner rather than later. Are we up to helping with that? Oh, really? That would be very good. I've heard they've made it easier. But, maybe if we can get Felix on board as well, then we could, get a Lax. Get the shiny Munchlax. If you're down, Rob. You need 4 for final level. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, Felix. I've heard they made it easier, so maybe it's only 3 for the final level now, but, yeah, we tried it with 3. It didn't go well. We got far, but we did not beat it. Which was a shame. Someone just needs to stay at the table while the other 3 go gather. Yeah, no, exactly. That was more or less our strategy, but it was me and Rob went together and then Felix stayed at the table. And then we realised that didn't work, so we left the balloons closer to the centre for Felix to gather. And then that still didn't work. But we got pretty far on that strategy, but it clearly wasn't going to work with 3 people, which was a shame. But, oh well, I guess. But, definitely want to try it and finish it sooner rather than later. I guess depending. We could always do it next Monday. I'm not firm on my thing. So, like, if you are free next week. Next Monday. 7:30 PM GMT. Or is it going to be BS? No, I think it's going to be GMT at that point. I think Daylight Savings in the UK is the 27th of each month. Because I know America's already had it. Which is confusing. Like, I fucking hate Daylight Savings as much as it is. You should be good for next Monday? Hell yeah. I can always make time for Pokemon. Understandable, understandable. I also can. As in make time for Pokemon. Obviously, I can attend my own stream. Probably. No, I should be able to. What was it called? What was I looking for? Yeah, I'll message Felix. Or maybe he'll do the classic and manage to stop by just in time for Pokedoku. You're not Dialga, unfortunately. Ah, that's a shame. You should work on that. Right. Right. Then whoever's on can help if Felix can't make it. It depends. I'm not sure if that would work, honestly. I don't know. People don't... What's it called? What was I looking for? I don't think that much of my community have Nintendo Switch Online, honestly. And... streams have been a bit quieter as of late, so... I'm not entirely sure how many people would stop by. Bluntly put. Oh well, we did not get another Kleavor, which is a shame, but we did get one in the first place, and that was the goal. What the fuck? What? What even just happened there? Anyway. What do you mean I can't use the synchro machine now? Let me use the synchro machine. Oh, it's because it's paralyzed. Okay, Kleavor was just running off to the horizon. Could have been worse. What a crash. I think I just saved, so it would have been fine. Kleavor time! Would you ever do Pokemon hide and seek with the synchro machines? I honestly considered it when the game first came out. Not sure. Is my blunt answer. Maybe at some point, but for now the synchro machine is still useful all the same. I use it to record the weird Pokedex entries, which I'd recommend watching. I do love a good bit of weird Pokedex entries. I should probably avoid the Golurk, don't want to fall. You saw someone doing that, it did look kind of fun. Oh really? I know, I saw some people doing hide and seek in like Base Scarlet Violet, but I've not seen it with synchro machine yet. Maybe. Oh, I forgot to pause this. I'm gonna be honest. I probably shouldn't run the timer on these hunts. I don't actually think it's that useful, but I will. Alright. Anyway. We got the Kleavor. That was the goal. That was the dub. So now, I dare say, it's time... not end this Pokedoku time. Pokemon challenges. I thought he was P-Shell now. Can't believe Pokedoku is dead naming P-Shell. Alright, Pokedoku. Okay, we've got Johto, Poison, and Evolved by Friendship. Normal, Flying, and Final Evolution. Well, I guess most Final Evolutions are probably Evolved by Friendship, right? I think the only one that isn't is, like, Badoo. Into Roselia. Alright, I think I might go with Evolved by Friendship first, because that seems like a more complicated category. Obviously, we've got, like, Lopunny is Evolved by Friendship. And then... Togekiss is Evolved by Friendship. Will you give Mr. Basculin your... Will you give Mr. Basculin your friendship? I should. Okay, Lucario is Evolved by Friendship. But that's... probably not the best Final Evolution to put down. Evolved by Friendship Pokemon. My mind is very much drawing a blank on this one. Obviously, don't give me the answers, but my mind is drawing a blank. Okay, so Pokemon that evolve by friendship are probably more in line with... Oh, a lot of baby Pokemon evolve by friendship. But I feel like Munchlax is one of the ones that doesn't, is one of the ones that evolves by level up. Obviously, Togepi evolves by friendship into Togetic. So Togetic is evolved by friendship. But I feel like people would remember that. But it's the only one that comes to mind is the issue. But I'm also aware, like, as a Pokemon that comes to mind, it's probably not a good one to put down. Well, Gen 5 mons are evolved by friendship. There have got to be a couple, right? Maybe? This is genuinely such a stumping category for me. I'm gonna be real. I do not remember what Pokemon have friendship evolutions. Togetic. 46%, okay. Lopunny. And I can think of another final evolution that evolves by friendship, I'm sure of it. I thought Pikachu in my head, which does evolve by friendship, but isn't. Azurill. No, wait, that would have to be Marill, which isn't normal type. The baby one, yeah, but it has to be the final evolution. It has to be what it evolves into, not what it evolves from. So, Baneri wouldn't count, but Lopunny would. Oh, Crobat. I wonder if Crobat was more popular than Togetic. Swoobat! I forgot Swoobat! No, I didn't. No, I didn't forget Swoobat. Oh. Okay, like I did, but I didn't. Okay, final evolution poison types. Swalot is the first one that comes to mind, but I feel like Swalot isn't a good bet. I'm gonna put Reverum. Espionage or Umbreon? I love Espionage, my favorite evolution. Alright, you also had Chansey and type Null. Good points. Alright. Johto final evolutions. Ferrothorn. Not Ferrothorn. Fortress. 2.2. Okay. Oh shit, yeah, no, technically they would have counted in that, but like, it's fine. I probably wasn't going to put them anyway. Alright, poison flying type. Oh shit. Not Pheasant Deputy, surprisingly. Crobat, Zubat, and Golbat. There gotta be other poison flying types, right? Surely. I'm gonna put Crobat, because I bet everyone's gonna put it elsewhere in this category. I guess not. I should have put Zubat. Okay, poison normal type. Okay, that's Strudel. Johto normal types. Obviously Dunsparce. Sentret, Ferret. Dunsparce, Sentret, Ferret. Stantler. Miltank. I'm gonna put Stantler. I think Zubat's line are the only poison flying types. Also, 32% is actually pretty good. It's probably the middle option. Alright, and then Johto flying types. Snubble is pure fairy these days. And Johto flying types. Obviously Noctowl and... yeah, Hoothoot and Noctowl. Natu and Xatu. Ho-Oh. Crobat, obviously. Then Togetic. A decent few flying types. Which is funny because Falkner uses none of them. I'm gonna put Natu. I'm feeling good about Natu. Yeah, that was pretty solid. Alright, I don't think that was the best score in the world. Yeah, most unique 115 and I got 167. But, Shredder was the least common here. Zubat was the least common here, but Crobat was the middle. Subat was the least common here. Togetic was obviously the most common. And then Subat was the least common here, which I did actually get. Slow King was the most common final evolution, interestingly enough. Fortress was more in the middle. Delibird was the least popular flying type. Natu was higher up. There are a lot of flying types in, what's it called? Yeah. Porygon 2 was the least guessed one of those. Stantler was, like, kind of toward the middle. Yeah, Silvally was a very good guess. Jigglypuff was also there. Lopunny was a higher up. Snorlax is friendship! Huh. The more you know. And yeah, Shroodle and Grafaiai are the only poison normal types. Interesting. Alright. I think, at this point, I'm going to end off for the day. Thank you all for coming, though. I hope you've all had a great time. I do love a good bit of shiny hunting, and we finally got that Kleavor. Katarina is in our grass, which is nice, Next Monday, we'll be continuing our shiny hunt for Minccino, but on Wednesday, we'll be continuing our Pokemon Legends Arceus playthrough, where we can only use first stage Pokemon. Which will be very fun. Most babies tend to be friendship. Yeah, but, like, Pokemon like, Magby and Elekid evolve at like level 30. I don't know why I thought that, but I thought Munchlax was in the same category. I was very determined it was, but I was wrong. And the Pokemon like Bonsly and Mime Jr. is a certain move they have to learn to evolve. But yeah, I hope people had a great time. When Charizard raid? Oh right, yeah, Charizard raid's on Friday, obviously. If you want to stop by for those, feel free. I've already got a Charizard, but I would love to do some Charizard fighting. Me and Rob will probably take our Manaphy. We should probably start theory crafting for that. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. And I will see you all on Wednesday for Pokemon Legends Arceus with only baby Pokemon. I will see you then. Goodbye and good night.